All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we're starting our final project of this school year, and we're going to be using a lot of the same techniques that we used for the comic book cover and for the fight scene. This time we're going to put it all together in a comic book page, and you can see I've drawn mine out. Mine has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels. Your minimum is 3 panels. You have to have at least 3. So you're not going to be telling a long drawn-out story. Think of it as a comic strip. Now, I've already photographed my work, and I've brought it into Photopea. Now, as usual, I want to sort of brighten everything up. Your photo might be a little gray, or it might be a little brown, mattering on the lighting you used. But what I do want you to make sure is try not to take a picture that has shadows falling across the page. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to Image, I'm going to go to Adjustments, and I'm going to go to Levels. I'm going to get my level, and I'm going to take that white bar that's in the front. I'm going to move it and brighten up the picture so that that gray background sort of disappears to white. I don't want to go too far and erase all my lines, but I do want to go far enough that I don't lose any of that detail. I can go back and now grab the black bar on the opposite side and sort of drag it over to make my outlines look a little bit darker. And I'll kind of nudge these things over until I feel pretty good about my outline and the brightness of my background. This looks pretty good to me. You're not going to have it be completely white at any point, but this will work. My outlines are still there. I can still see my characters, and my background's much cleaner looking. I'll hit OK. Now what I'm going to do is start painting, just like we always have before. I can lock this background just to make sure I don't mess with it. I'm going to create a new layer. For this one, I'm going to start off with the skin color. So I'm going to rename that layer Skin. And then I'm going to switch that layer from Normal to Multiply. So all of my painting layers, again, you should label them. You should make a new layer for every color. And then you can hit Multiply on those. I'm going to go get my paintbrush. I'm going to adjust my paintbrush, the hardness at 100%. I'll kind of see what I want to do as far as how big I want my paintbrush. And then I'm going to go down to my color picker. I'm going to choose a skin tone. I can slide this towards the orange part of the color wheel. And the orange part of the color wheel will give us some light skin tones. And then down here, some tans and browns. Gives you a full range of sort of skin and facial tones. And again, you're not limited to make it a normal color. You can make your character blue. You can make your character whatever. I'm pretty pasty and white, so I'm going to go with a really light color over here. Control plus once again to zoom in, and I'm just going to start painting. All right, and this is, again, should just be a review for you guys of what we've been doing now for the last few weeks. Remember, we all know how to clean things up with the eraser tool. We know how to undo things. Control Z is to undo. All right. And the painting, like I feel something that's complicated is what I'm doing right now. Painting shouldn't take me too long. Adjust your brushes accordingly. I'm going to accidentally paint over this area right here, because for me it's a lot easier. Instead of carefully going around this, I'll just switch over to my eraser tool, adjust the size of it, and then just carefully clean that off. And don't worry if the panels you drew, if your lines aren't particularly straight. I'll show you later on how we can fix that. So I'm going to continue on painting. I'm not going to continue this video all the way through because all I'm going to do for the rest of it is paint. But again, I just want to kind of reiterate some of the things that we've been doing and make sure you guys, if you're lost on getting started, you know what to do and where to do. So I'm going to go ahead and continue working on this. I'm going to continue sharing my screen, and I'm going to stop the video here. And I'm going to spend the rest of the period here painting today. Remember, as I'm working, so for example, I might want to change colors for the beard. I'm going to create a new layer for that. Call that one Beard. Okay. Change it from Normal to Multiply. All right, and then I can always change my colors accordingly. just going to play around with this just a little bit. Just add a little bit of texture to my beard. Okay. Go ahead and even add a little bit of my eyebrow color. And I'll shape this up a little bit with my eraser tool. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to spend the rest of my time here painting. I suggest you guys spend your time drawing or setting up for the final project. I'm going to, as always, remind you at the end of the period to save this as a PSD so that we can work on it again tomorrow.